Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and try to get this thing out of the box. Now this thing is pretty heavy, and they really want you to use two people to install this. But I don't have two people. I'm going to have to be the two-person man, and I'm going to have to get creative as far as how I'm going to be able to get that lifted up and held in place, you know, while I get this connected too. So we'll just have to see. I might wind up having to call for some help. We'll just have to see how this works out. And so this is the top part. And this is going to be the baffle here that's going to go above it. You can see how it'll swing open when it's activated and goes closed as well. And so this is a protective film that's going to have to be peeled off, I'm pretty sure. I'm just trying to get everything out of the box. See what I have, what I've got to work with. And it's got some broken pieces of foam in it. So, already this looks pretty decent. I'm going to lift this out if I can. Maybe not. There we go. There we go. Certainly don't want to damage it getting out of the box. So that's another trim piece right there. Kinds of padding. Another thing I'll say as well, whenever you get something new, I recommend you keep the box for at least a month, just in case you have to send it back. And there's the directions. As the old saying goes, if you can't figure out how to install it, go back and read the directions. So, but I will read the directions before I put this in, because I only hopefully have to do this one time. So let's see if I can get this out without breaking my back. This thing is pretty heavy. Ah, damn. This thing weighs a ton. Wow, that thing looks pretty cool. And they said this thing was going to be heavy, and they were not bull crapping about that. It is certainly heavy as shit. So now what I got to do is get the microwave out so I can get this put in. Okay guys, if you want to skip through this you can, but I always like to put the instruction manual in here because some people lose them, and you can also pause this if there's any particular page you want to read. That's my dog back there doing commentary. Like I say, this thing is pretty darn heavy, man, but it probably needs to be. Oh, by the way, this did come with a recirculating feature, like that solid plate right there. It also comes with a 6-inch rounded adapter as well. Or at least the one I received had it. Pages this than I thought they would be. Like I say, if I'm going too fast, you can just pause the video. I'm going to try to keep this as quick as I possibly can. Like I say, you can skip through this part as well and go advance to the latter part of this video. I guess it's showing different ways this can be installed. I'm not taking the time to read this right now, I just want to film it. Hopefully there's not too much glare on this. Probably get 2 pages at a time there. Another thing too, you can take still shots with your computer, and you can actually zoom in on the picture. After you save the picture to the desktop, you can just scroll your mouse and it'll zoom in. Almost through, guys. Getting toward the end. This is going to be the actual instructions here, so I probably need to get a little closer. At least they put it in big print, in bold print. That's another thing too about these range hoods. They do require some maintenance, mainly just keeping them clean. I mean, a lot of fires in the kitchen start in the range hood where grease is built up in it. That's why you really should have several fire extinguishers in date. And know how to use them too. I mean, not just you, but everybody in the household. There's the disclaimer. I think this is the last page. That's it. Alright, well here's a cosmetic update on this range hood. I do want this to kind of look as good as it possibly can, so I had to figure out some ways to create some trim pieces, you know, so to cover up some of these gapped areas that I had when I replaced the microwave that used to be here. Now, I already have another episode on installing this, and so it'll make a whole lot more sense if you go and check that out. It's on this channel. But I just wanted to put this out there that you can modify your area after you move the microwave if you wind up with the situation like I had where you had these gaps on both the top and the bottom. So let's just look at the bottom trim that I did. Basically all that is a 36-inch kick plate, stainless steel brushed, and it was too long so I had to cut it. You could see there's some scorch marks right there where I went through it with the chop saw with the metal blade in it, and I think I can buff that out. Unfortunately, I don't have enough money to afford a plasma cutter. But that's what's back there, and it also came with these screws will match it so that there's actually holes on the back side of that. I'm not going to be able to get to that, but this is just sitting in here. In fact, there's nothing holding it right now. Now on the right side and the left too is short pieces of 4-inch stainless by 11 inches. That was already that way when I ordered it online. You can get these in various lengths. Some of these people may even customize and cut it for you. I got these off of Amazon. And now at the very top, I had a problem there. I was deciding on whether or not to put stainless or wood, and I figured I'd go back with wood. The only problem is this wood's so expensive right now, so I went to Home Depot, and basically all that is some shiplap. Here's a short piece of it right there. This is actually the face of it. But that worked out pretty good because now the door closed. So who have ever thought that I'd get that kind of lucky? I still got to do some touch-up painting around it, and it's just sitting in there. Hopefully it don't fall out while I'm talking to you. Now, one thing that I'm going to do, and I should have done years ago, is to add more fire protection to this area. This house was built in '64, and you can kind of sort of see where there's some burn marks right there on this wood trim that comes down. I thought about removing it, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some fire retardant chemical on this, and I'm also going to make some of it as well. I think I have figured out a way to do that. We'll see. I'm going to have a separate episode on that, but you can buy this online. I wasn't able to find that in any of the local stores, so you might wind up having to get that if you decide to do it. It's about $20, I think, for a quart of it. But you can also get fire retardant paint. And if you have cabinets like these here, these were made in the '60s. This house was built in '64. And these things are flammable. I mean, because it's part pine, a lot of it. It's got pine sap in it. And so if it gets a good fire coming into it, it's probably going to take off like a gasoline fire. You can see that there's not a whole lot of clearance between the range and the bottom of these cabinets. And most house fires start in the kitchen, and secondary to that would be your garage. So anyway, I figured I would go ahead and put this out there to show you that this can be trimmed up. And you know, you may not have the same situation I have. You might have a newer home, but it's still enough. If you remove the microwave and go with a different type of range hood, but this is a Vesta, you know, you might have to fill in some of these places. And it can be done just by simply going online and looking for the correct pieces to fill all these gaps. All right, take care, guys, and thanks for watching.